Welcome to another video by Demois Pink. Did you know that the Old Testament and the New Testament are not just merely the 39 books in the Old Testament and the 27 books in the New Testament, respectively, but rather the Old Testament and the New Testament could also be termed as the Old Covenant and the New Covenant, respectively. These two covenants are the reason why the Bible, as we know it, is divided into two sections and are what the 39 books of the Old Testament and the 27 books of the New Testament amplifies, respectively. In this video, I will explore what are the two covenants, why were they made, and with whom were the covenants made with. I will also give you a number of scriptures relevant to this Bible topic at the end of the video. But let me start off with the definition of a covenant. According to dictionary.com, a covenant is an agreement or promise, usually formal, between two or more people or groups to do or not do something specified. End quote. Every covenant has certain key features. It has the parties involved. It has a date or time frame when it was made. It has the location when it was made, and the terms of the agreement. The covenant that is featured in the first section of the Bible, known as the Old Testament, was an agreement between God and the children of Israel, or the Jews as they are more commonly known. It was at Mount Sinai in the third month, after the Lord had brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, that God made a proposal to the Jews, which they all accepted in one accord, and said, "All that the Lord had spoken, we will do." This event is recorded in the book of Exodus, chapter 19. The testament was later ratified by the sprinkling of blood in the book of Exodus, chapter 24. As a result of the agreement that God made with the children of Israel, the law, commonly called Law of Moses, was given to them. This Law of Moses included the 10 Commandments, the Sabbath, tithing, and the sacrificial system, and were all exclusively for the Jews. No other nation on earth has ever been included in this testament. It is for this reason why almost the entire 39 books of the Old Testament in the Bible is focused solely on the Jews. Why was this covenant made? To answer this question, I will quote Paul in Galatians chapter 3, verses 19 to 25. Begin quote, "Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made. And it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one. Is the law then against the promises of God? God forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. But the Scripture hath concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Jesus Christ might be given to them that believe. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster." End quote. As Paul stated, the Old Covenant, known as the Old Testament, was made with the children of Israel to preserve the Jewish line, which is the line from which Jesus Christ the Messiah would come. Jesus Christ is the seed of the woman that God promised to the world in Genesis chapter 3, and also the seed of Abraham, which God promised will be a blessing to all the nations of the world. I will now move on to the New Testament, or the New Covenant. Jesus himself is the New Testament, or the New Covenant, and it's for this reason why all the books of the New Testament in the Bible are about him and what he did, or what resulted after he fulfilled his mission on earth. This covenant supersedes the Old Testament and made it null and void as recorded in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verses 31 to 34. Paul, in the book of Hebrews, writing about the two testaments, wrote, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that, he saith, A new covenant, he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. As I previously stated, every covenant has certain key features. The parties involved in the New Testament/New Covenant are Jesus, who is God incarnate, and anyone who would believe in him. John chapter 3, verse 16 clearly articulates the terms of the covenant. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Unlike the first covenant, which was made solely with the children of Israel, this covenant was an invitation to all people in the world, Jew or Gentile. Everyone who has accepted this promise must get baptized as a signal that they have accepted the terms of the agreement. The time frame in which the covenant was made is the week of the Passover, which Daniel prophesied about in the book of Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. In this verse, Daniel also prophesied that the Messiah would bring an end to sacrifices and offering that were made in the First Testament, this being the signal that the first covenant, also known as the Old Testament, would come to an end. This very moment happened when the veil of the temple was rented, when Jesus was on the cross. Jesus himself, in Matthew chapter 26, verses 26 to 28, at the Last Supper, spoke about the New Testament. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Thank you for watching my video. I hope that you have learned something new from my video. If you appreciate the content, please subscribe to my channel and like, share, and comment. If there are any Bible topics that you would like me to expound on, please put it in the comments and I will respond. Thanks again. Some relevant Bible scriptures related to this video are Matthew 26, verses 26 to 28, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 25, 2 Corinthians 3, verse 6, Hebrews 7, verse 22, Hebrews 9, verse 15, Hebrews 8, verses 7 to 13, Ezekiel 16, verses 59 to 63, Jeremiah 11, verses 1 to 11.